A young man named John graduated from high school, rented himself a nice apartment, bought himself a nice car, and a new motorcycle. In his mind, John was living the life until his grandma came along and caught a whiff of what he was doing. John, you can't be spending so much money. Your bills are $500 a month over what you're earning. It's okay, Grandma, I got it all under control. I'll just put the extra on my credit card. But, John, what about your future? You either have to increase your income or decrease your spending, or you're going to end up to your ears in debt. Today in our country, we need to take Grandma's advice. Our national debt is a ticking time bomb. Let's step back and evaluate this problem using Rotarian Herbert J. Taylor's four-way test. This test will use four main principles to determine whether our problem, failure to act on the national debt crisis, is or is not ethical. Question number 1. Is it the truth? Our national debt is over $14 trillion. 14 trillion. Never in history has non-defense spending been so high for such a length of time. As economists Westbury and Stein say, if the U.S. federal government were a bank, the FDIC would close them down this Friday night. To get an idea of what an incredible number 14 trillion is, let's think about it in terms of seconds. We all know how long a second is. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. Well, 1 million seconds would take us back 9 days ago, to last Thursday. Not so bad, right? 1 billion seconds would take us back to 1980, 31 years ago. 1 trillion seconds? Man, she's thinking like 1800s. No. 1 trillion seconds would take us back to 29,000 BC. That's 31,000 years ago. Now that's 1 trillion. Now think 14 trillion. Convert all those seconds to dollars and you've got our national debt. If you were to spend $10 million every day, 10 million each and every day, it would take you 273 years to spend $1 trillion. Yet our government has managed to increase its national debt by over 13 trillion in just 30 years. This is reality. This is the truth. Question number 2. Is it fair to all concerned? Well, who all is concerned? The future citizens of America, our children and our grandchildren. Every day, our national debt increases by over $4 billion. In the next 10 years, our national debt will increase by over $7 trillion, even with the cuts proposed by the President and Congress. Our children and our grandchildren have to deal with this. And every day that we do nothing, we're just making it $4 billion harder for them to pay it off. Are you curious what your share of the national debt is? Well, if we took the whole national debt and divided it evenly between every taxpayer in America, then your share of the national debt, your individual share, are you ready for this? Over $128,000 today. That's your share today. What will it be tomorrow? This is the debt that we leave as an inheritance for the future citizens of America. Question number 3. Will it build goodwill and better friendships? People who are strapped with debt are much more likely to be plagued with strife and turbulence. Our country will divide against itself over how to pay off the national debt, what cuts should be made, and whether taxes should be increased for funding. And what of our relationships with the countries to whom we are in such deep debt? Now how? Can there be goodwill and better friendships when we're so deeply indebted and divided? Question number 4. Is it beneficial to all concerned? An apt comparison of this might be the following. It would be absolutely devastating to allow a cancerous tumor to grow until it is virtually impossible to remove. Obviously, if you see that the tumor is there, then you will do everything in your power to remove it. In the same way, allowing our national debt to grow to such a height as this before tackling it is not good for our country's health. The larger it grows, the more insurmountable the task of bringing it under control. Being indebted to other nations will make us weak. Paying debts and interest will make us poor. and dealing with this crisis will make us divided. Now, how can a weak, poor, divided nation survive? The truth is, it cannot. In conclusion, we need to take, as a nation, Grandma's wisdom and do some serious surgery on this tumor of debt. Whether it be privatizing certain government-owned entities, selling unused tracts of government real estate, finding a compromise for drilling new oil wells, or countless others, we must take action. Proven by the four-way test, failure to take action is not ethical. It is the truth. It is not fair to all concerned. It will not build goodwill and better friendships, nor is it beneficial. Rather than leaving our nation in shambles, for our children to pick up the pieces, it is imperative that we take action. Now, this will be painful, but our nation is a monument to men and women throughout history who have stood tall and courageous when action was needed. May we, as citizens, demonstrate such courage and sacrifice so that we may shape and save the future of this great nation. Thank you.